Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Matthew. Once again, welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to go over some questions that you can ask yourself every day when you're in recovery, whether that be from addiction or trauma. These are the questions that most of us don't really think about when we're in our addictions because we're so distorted at the time. But I'm just gonna read over them real quick. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's come from this manual that I use. It's called the Addiction Recovery Manual. It's a manual that my church has brought out. It uses more like it uses more God oriented focus more than the addiction itself. Because we believe that if you focus on God more and His good principles instead of focusing on the addiction itself, then you'll be able to release yourself from your addiction a lot easier. Question number one is, what outcome did I want in the situation and why? So, whatever situation that you come across with friends or family and stuff like that, you got to ask yourself, what outcome do I want from the situation that I'm in? And how did I try to control the situation? That's the number one question, follow-up question. How did I try to control the situation? When we are out of control in our addictions, it's impossible to say that we can have control. But a lot of the people that are in their addictions, they feel like because they are out of control, they need to have control over everybody and everything in every situation. So you always have to ask yourself that question. Number one, was it any of my business? People that are in addictions used to, they tend to make everything their business because they want to be included in everything because they feel so secluded from their addiction. So that's another question you can ask yourself. If you're feeling, alone within your own mind and secluded, are you trying to, make everybody else's crap your business instead of your own, which is what you mainly should be focusing on. What actions did I take or admit to get what I wanted? So, we talked about in my last video how addictions can be very manipulative. We can take our addiction and use it as a way to manipulate other people to get what we want. That's something that a lot of addicts do, and it really can't be ignored. Um, did I ignore reality? So that's a huge question to ask. When you're in your addiction, you are not in reality. You're in a fantasy world. And your mind goes to fantasy because it wants to escape reality. So if you're thinking about this question, what am I doing to escape reality? Am I in my, Facebook games? Am I in my distorted uh, belief systems? What am I addicted to? Am I addicted to? And it could be anything because addiction is very broad, and people think that addiction is just prone to alcoholism, drug use, and pornography. The main addictions. But what are we talking about here? You got to ask yourself, what is it in your life that is taking you away from reality? And in today's world, with so many distractions and so many things like social media, the news, all the voices and everything all around you, it's easy to escape reality into your own fantasies. So, were my expectations reasonable for myself and others? Usually, people that are addicts have very unrealistic expectations of others. It's only because they're trying to hide the things that they lack in their lives, or their lackluster lives, because they know you know their life it doesn't measure up to everybody else's, and they always compare their lives to everybody else. So that's something you have to ask yourself. Did I lie to myself and others? Well, addicts are really good liars. They Manipulation, lying, keeping secrets, we do all of that. We hide behind all of that. Um, did I ignore the feelings of others? Well, of course. When your addictions are very selfish in nature, so of course you're going to be ignoring, you know, other people's feelings, and you're not going to respect the other person because obviously you don't respect yourself. Um, How did I act like a victim to control others, get attention or sympathy, be special, and so on? This is what I like to call gaslighting. It's something that us addicts do all the time to divert people away from our addictive behaviors. Or if you're in your really deep trauma, you can be good at this behavior too. It's very addictive for people that have like deep trauma. Taking people's words and misconstruing them because they're triggered by certain words and things that people say. And so in order to, and it's all, and I think it all has to do with trust. We don't really trust ourselves, so we don't trust others. So it's easy to gaslight people when you don't have that trust. Did I resist help from God and others? Well, when you're in your addiction and you're out of control, and then you stop believing in somebody that can help you take control over your life, then what happens is you get what I called in my last video, a God complex, where you do the things that you believe that God should have done for you, for yourself, and for others, which is not your job. It's God's job. So I think when you try to take control over others and outside things because your inside life is imperfect, it's just a reflection of this distortion in the trauma that you have in your life. Did I insist on being right? Well, an addict will never admit when he's wrong. He's always going to divert. Diversion is the biggest thing an addict does. They divert the attention to somebody else. Like if, say, they have like something or a problem with their spouse or with their children, they'll always divert to them instead of doing self-reflection. Did I feel slighted for lack of recognition or acknowledgement? Well, this is what happens to us when we're deep in our trauma and our addictions. We start to become a narcissist, meaning that nothing's ever good enough. No compliment, no love, no nothing, either whether that's coming from God, our children, our family, is good enough. And so we start to seek attention in other things, unhealthy things. But then even then that's not good enough. So then we start to really try to suck everybody dry of compliments, love, concern, all that stuff. It's the victim mentality, but it's also the narcissist mentality. So these questions I wanted to pose to you today. This is kind of a longer video today. I'm probably going to break it up into a little bit more detail in the next sequences. But just think about these questions in your own personal life as you struggle with your addiction and your trauma. And hopefully you guys got something, and have a great day. Bye.